All right, all right, Facebook. All right. Good evening, good evening. I just want to jump on real quick with you, real quick. So now I'm gonna play a little bit of gospel rap. Y'all know how I do it. Y'all know how I do it. You know I come on sometime I come and DJ a little bit. Hold on for a minute. My mic, man. Hold on for a minute. My mic ain't sounding right. And it sound like I want to. Oh, that sound a little better. A little sparkle. How about that? How about that? No, I'm gonna go here. Hey, so listen. Y'all hold on for a minute. I done lost my soundtrack. You'll bear with me for a minute. Hey, how y'all doing tonight? Just want to come on tonight. Just real quick tonight. All right, people. I hope you're doing good tonight. Sure, the Lord is good and His mercy do it forever. I'm trying to see if I get in the audio. Okay, coming through. Hey, listen. Hey, that's one to come on real quick. I want to rock with you real quick. So, hey, hope y'all had a good day today. Up to this present time, I just come on look real quick, just to talk real quick before I get late. I know it's kind of late, but I want to come on and share something with the people. Hey, so hey, I dabbled a little bit of gospel rap, and just for the people. That's one of my theme songs. And I'm gonna get in and talk what I want to say tonight. Hey, how y'all been doing today? Y'all been hope you had a good day today, and I hope everything is going good. Because surely the day that the Lord is good. So, hey, the reason why I'm playing that a little bit, that's a little bit of gospel rap. Y'all know how I do. Y'all know how I do when I kind of do my little DJ. You know, I listen to everything because I'm a lyrics person. And I know some of y'all may be shocked that I listen to gospel rap. You know, some of y'all may be shocked. Some of y'all may not know that about me. But I listen to all kind of music. Cause I'm a music buff. And I know all music ain't bad and some all music ain't good. I know that. But you know, hey, when you check out the gospel rap. I know they got the kind of beat to it, the club beat, if you want to say that. You know, I call it rhythm. And so I listen to the lyrics. But anyway, that's one of them things that uh, the young men that got the gospel rap. You know, I say one thing, they're preaching about Christ, or they're rapping about Christ, or rapping about God in their own way. You know, and they could be rapping about killing and shooting. That's how I look at it. Oh, he went out. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, so hey, listen, I wanted to come on here tonight, and talk about some things that uh, we got coming up, and I talked to DJ and I. Miss Vanessa called me a couple weeks ago about they having their hands up and guns down rally coming in June. It's I think June. Well, anyway, look on my flyer, and you'll see we're having a big rally in Florence. They had it in Columbia one year, and so we're having it in Florence. So there's going to be different people coming from different counties coming and speaking, and so they're going to be uh, good to see you, buddy Porter. Porter's supposed to be there. I heard you're supposed to be there, and one of the speakers supposed to be there. We got different people that we got set up coming. So we getting it. So they getting it together. So we're looking to have a big rally at Olive Jones Park coming up. Y'all share the flyer on my page, and y'all gonna get more. Y'all gonna see more information coming out. And it's hands up and guns down. We're having this rally, all this gun violence and violence been going on, and not on Florence, Dillon, all over the place. Violence has been taking place in the community, and people have been hurting. Families has been destroyed on both sides of the spectrum, and so we're gonna have people out there to talk about this gun violence, and I think they're gonna have one of the prosecutors out there talk about, the devil when have the family members being sentenced, and it's so much that take place, and not only that, especially the ones that lost their loved ones, and so that is a tragedy for themselves because their life has been altered, to gun violence, and not only that, when people got shot, they may have been in a wheelchair, confined to a wheelchair. They may have. I know people have colostomy bags and all kind of stuff that happened to them through gun violence because they think that these things can't. They think these things can't happen, and they can. They can happen, and it just uh, it just sad that these things going to take place. These things going to take place, and and we need to try to do something that we can put a stop to this gun violence that are going and taking place. Hold on for a minute. Yeah, so we need to stop. So and so these things taking place, and because man, people are hurting, people are suffering with this gun violence, and it's not only affecting. You may say, hey, it's not bothering me. I don't live in that part of town, or I don't live, but crime is spreading all over. People doing all over now. Now one time you had to worry about certain neighborhoods. Now people going in the good neighborhood, what we call the so good neighborhoods. They going over there breaking in cars, breaking in houses. They're doing a lot of stuff, and so we need to educate our youth, especially our young men, because it's like they almost like distinct. It's like you try to talk to them and trying to reach them, and not only that, you have a two-front battle. You got the battle in their homes, and then you try to. And I think it would be good if we could have something for these parents, man. We could try to reach these parents. I always felt like, when I was working in the schoolhouse, I felt like, man, if we can reach the parents, the kids would be a lot better. Because sometimes the kid goes home and wrestle with environment that the parents live in, and some kids can't. They can't do nothing because they live with their parents. They can't control what their parents do or the lifestyle that their parents do. And I ain't judging no one. I ain't trying to put no one down. Y'all know how I do on my show. I don't come on here to judge people. I don't come here to put people down. I come in here to talk intelligent, talk sense, make it make sense when people can look at things at a different light. And so I don't judge people parenting and whatnot, but I do say this. I think as parents, you may have habits. You may have some things that you do. But I think even in all that, you should protect your children from the things that you do. But I found that some parents, they give the kids the marijuana, they give the kids the guns, they give them kids those things. And as parents, we have a responsibility for our kids. And I'm gonna tell you right now, God gonna hold y'all accountable. for the kids he entrusted you with, and you taught them everything except the word of God, or you taught them the ways, you taught them all kind of stuff, teaching them what is right. And I'm talking about this teaching them what is right, and so sometimes the kids got to come home and deal with the environment that their parents live, and sometimes they can't help it, and some kids escape, and some kids don't. But as parents, you're gonna pay for it because you were responsible for what that kid, when they're young, you was responsible for what that kid do and don't do. And so I think a lot of times we can get these parents to be an example, um, and then I think the kids will turn out better because sometimes kids look for their mothers and fathers to lead them in the right way, in the discipline. And my mama always say that we was coming up. My mom used to come to the house, and we used to hide our beer and stuff, all our liquor and stuff. My mom used to come to the house, and she used to come to the house, and she going through the refrigerator and stuff. We used to hide it under the bed, all kind of stuff, because she'd come out there and clean the house, because my mom was a church woman, so she'd be like, "You ain't got no business with that liquor. You ain't got no business with that beer. Ain't nothing but ain't nothing but the devil." That's how she was. And man, so we used to hide it because we had good liquor, and she poured it out. Boys, we couldn't afford to go buy no more liquor. We were young. You know what I'm saying? We was old enough to buy liquor, boy. I'm saying we were young. And so she always tell us, saying, ain't no use beating your kids. If your kids, he said, if you have children, he said, and they go in there and take a drink of your liquor or whatnot, and you discipline them. It's not even you telling them they know better, because kids are kids. And she said, well, you put it before them, they're gonna try it. That's how she was. That was her philosophy. And so kids do watch their parents, what they do and don't do. And anyway, and so I want to just say, man, listen, we got the rally come out. Y'all gonna hear me talking about it some more. I talked to Mr. Vanessa today, and she gonna come on here and do a podcast with me, and she gonna talk about what she's trying to do. And we got a committee, and I think some other people she got joining the committee. I'm excited, y'all. I'm excited. We're trying to get leaders on board. We're trying to get the leaders on board, and man, make this thing good. She gonna have hot dogs out there. She told me she gonna have hot dogs. She gonna have hamburgers and buns and stuff, and she gonna be needing volunteers. She said to help feed somebody to help fix the boxes and different things. So we doing logistics now and trying to get everything together, and so we're gonna have vendors out there, like PD Mental Health, so people can know where they can get some good help from, because all mental health clinics are not good. We're gonna have PD Coalition out there, people who dealing with people don't know about the help they can get through domestic violence or different things, and we're gonna have another group out there that does things. We're gonna have different. We want different venues out there and the tents and stuff. So people, but we want people out there with some resources, so the people can be helped and be benefited. And we're thinking about it, maybe some questions and answers for the people that may have questions and whatnot. And so we just want this thing to be, it's no big I, little you. We're trying to make sure this thing be good and be beneficial for the community. That's all we doing. We ain't trying to do nothing else. We trying to make sure that what we do, that it be beneficial, for the community. And so we can curb this gun violence and violence, period. And even in the school, they're violent. And so people didn't learn how to handle their differences, and know that when you do certain things, it could be detrimental to yourself, and not be influenced by your anger. I know sometimes we get angry and do stuff. Hey, I was coming up, I did it, but I paid for it. I'm gonna let you know. I was saying the other day, listen, Sometimes we do things we know it's gonna hurt. Sometimes human beings we know it's gonna hurt, but we do it anyway. But guess what? We know it's gonna hurt, but sometimes we don't know how bad it's gonna hurt. And some people that do things, and I was looking at a show today, and this young lady was driving drunk, and she went up on the curb. She killed three people, two people with critical injury one. But she didn't realize the seriousness of it until she got to the hospital. And they told her, "Hey, listen, you killed two people with your car driving drunk." Well, she didn't think that driving drunk was going to hurt, but it hurt that night. But she didn't know how bad it was going to hurt because she took killed two people. Don't you know they gave that lady 20 years in prison? That lady had never been in no trouble or anything, but because she was driving drunk and hit two people and killed both of them and critically ill in the one, they gave her 20 years. They gave another lady, they were just showing that people drive drunk today. They gave this other lady, girl, 15 years. 15 years. Ain't never been in no trouble. But sometimes, like I say, sometimes we do things, we say, I might can get by with it, it might not hurt, but guess what? That might be the time that you don't. And she didn't think it was going to hurt, but you know, she didn't think it was going to hurt that bad. She didn't think it was going to hurt that bad to drive, but it really hurt because she killed two people and now she's doing 20 years. They ain't never been in trouble. And so, and these are things that our young people need to think, especially our young black man. We need to think before we act, before we do things. Because let me tell you something: you can't go to the court and say the devil made me do it. Okay, because the judge ain't trying to hear who made you do anything. There may be some circumstances sometimes where things have happened, but you definitely can't blame it on the devil because that ain't gonna work. Um, but um, but we can be influenced by him, But y'all know the scripture. Bible say resist him, flee from him, you know. So and sometimes you got to know how to walk away. Sometimes you got to know when to run, but it's gonna cost you, if you decide to the Bible says, I mean, it talks about, we talk about people say live by the sword, die by the sword, if you decide to live that way, things gonna happen. We want to sugarcoat it, but we don't want to tell people the truth. Hey man, if you live in that way, it's bound to happen, man. But you ain't gotta live that way. You ain't gotta do that. You ain't gotta live that type of life. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be in the mix where you gotta have a gun or you gotta defend yourself. You ain't gotta put yourself in those things. But sometimes we live in a world where it's so fierce. As the Bible says, the love of many gonna wax cold. And so people are so cold and fierce these days, you know what I'm saying? So people don't care about anything or anybody. I mean, people just on the edge. People get mad in the heartbeat. They shooting at people on the highway, because road rage and somebody cut them off, they're ready to shoot them, ready to fight them. Man, listen, it ain't even worth fighting on no parking lot. I mean, no parking space, but people do it and get in trouble. And then after a while, y'all, at the end of the day, after it's all over, you realize you have the same spirit Cain had. Man, I shouldn't have killed my brother. Man, I shouldn't have did. That's what Cain he did. He felt sorry for him. Man, I shouldn't have killed my brother, but he did. And so the things I'm talking about, like we do things and we know that it could potentially damage us. And then I promise you at the end, you're gonna say, man, I wish I wouldn't have did it. I wish I'd have did something else. I wish I would have handled that different. But then sometimes it be too late. And sometimes people get second chances, but sometimes some people don't. And whatever you do, you're gonna have to live with it, And then other people gonna have to live with it too, because not only that, you affect other people and your family and different things when we do certain things. Everybody suffers. Whole community suffers when things happen tragic like that. Everybody feels it, because you got people who feel certain ways about different things. And so that is it, you know what I'm saying? So listen, I don't want y'all to be encouraged. I want this to come on y'all. I want real quick talk to y'all again about this rally we got going on. Y'all gonna see me coming on Prayer, all of you talking about it. I'm excited about it, and I pray for success of the whole thing that we're trying to do. I hope people come out. I hope people rally. She told me, she said they're gonna have some hot dogs, hamburgers, and chips and drink, and hey, we're gonna have some. I got to talk about the music. We're gonna have all that stuff. But but the main purpose is just having this thing is hands up, guns down. That's what the purpose is, to come together and rally, and so we can stop this gun violence in Florence and get these people to thinking, these young men to start thinking, and do things better. One thing that I think that they need, a lot of these young men not even finishing school. That's one problem right there, because they're not educating themselves, and then they're not educated, so they don't know how to express themselves intelligently. I'm not saying all of them, but now we dealing with a generation now, they just dropping out of school, not even going to school. No repercussions, anything. They just don't go. They're in the streets. And I dealt with some young men last week about some foolishness. And now DJJ then skyrocketed now with a flux of young people doing all kind of stuff. Stealing cars, shooting, breaking in stuff. I mean, they doing adult crimes. They can carry stiff penalties, but they're doing it at a young age, 7th, 8th, 9th grade. We should never have to go to a schoolhouse and arrest students. Now it didn't come to that. Well, we had to go to the schoolhouse to arrest students. Stuff they did the weekend, or the night before, and think nobody didn't know about it. And then now we come to school to arrest students. So we should never have to come to a school arrest a student. But these are the time we're living in now. And I'm telling you, mothers and fathers, uncles and nieces, nephews, talk to your kids. We trying to talk to these young kids now. Talk to them in the 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. They ain't too young to know anything, because listen, it's things that you don't tell them, they're learning at school. These are a different generation, and where you think they're not up on things and they don't know what's going on and different things, they know a whole lot more than you think they do. And so you parents, start talking to your kids and start talking to them and find out what they're going on. Don't let them be in the room, shut up in the room on the phone all day. You don't know what they're doing. You around there eating your raviolis, and you say, hey, as long as they're in the room, I'm good. But you don't know what they're doing in the room. You don't know who they're talking to on the room and different things. And so find out what's going on. They could be suicidal and you don't know. But that's what I'm saying. We leave things up to our kids, and we don't know. Okay, because my sister-in-law, her daughter committed suicide when she was 16, and she was a very smart girl, very smart, but she committed suicide at 16 because I think she was dealing with self-esteem issue. Come from a good mother, good father, and she went to her father's house that weekend by mistaken, and she committed suicide. Yeah, I had to eulogize her. Okay, beautiful. Okay, at 16 years old, she committed suicide. Okay, so don't ever think that I dealt with a mother last year. She was talking about her son committed suicide, but she said he was so happy. He just went to church that night. She could not understand why her son did it, and she was devastated about that. Still wrestling with it. I saw some of her family members at a restaurant, and man, they still was talking about that. They would say, man, thank you for coming and talking to us, and thank you for sharing with us today. They still wrestling with it today. And that's what I'm talking about, these gun violence, and people die. People don't get over it. People just don't, it's not like you just go to sleep, wake up, and things gonna be all right. It's for real. When a person is dead, they can't come back. They're no longer here. And it's serious. It's serious for the people who commit the crime. It's serious. There's a possibility you could be in prison for the rest of your life or for a long time. I mean, like, you know, and both family lost out both ways. They can still come see you, but you still gonna be in prison. You're not gonna be out here with society, living where you can and move around and do things. You know, and so it's a whole lot. And people we don't think about it. So when you're in prison, I think now when you're in prison, somebody die in your family, you can't even come home. You know, it just man it just you know no place to go just to be going. You know what I'm saying, for foolishness. And so listen. So anyway, I just want to come on this real quick and just talk real quick. Y'all know I'm gonna play my song and I'm gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna play my song. I'm gonna get up out of here. So hey, listen, I hope y'all had a good day today, and my prayer go out to the bereavement family. My prayer go out to those who are sick and those who are wrestling and struggling in your life and struggling areas in your life. Man, always put God first and stay connected. Excuse me, and stay positive. You know what I'm saying? Surround yourself with some positive folks, man. You get rid of all that negative energy that around you, man. And every time they come around, listen, every time somebody come around you and you feel drained and your peace leave, you know what I'm saying? Hey, get rid of that, man. Just get rid of it, because we don't need nothing. We don't need nothing negative in our life. We need something positive in our life. You know what I'm saying? And so I always say if there's anything in your life that's not going to enhance anything in your life, you don't need it. You know what I'm saying? Or anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because we all trying to do better, and we don't need nobody to be around us with negative energy or anything that's going to hold you back. And that's one thing about me. I begin to change my atmosphere and the people around me. That would help me came out of the hole that I was in. I was a young person. I had to change my mindset. That's the first thing we need to do. We need to change the way we think, because sometimes the way we think hurt us the most. I always believe that. The way we think hurts the most. Because the Bible said, so if a man thinketh, so is he. And so sometimes, and that's where a lot of times people battle their self-esteem, because people don't think they pretty, or people don't think they got what it takes. But the Bible said you wonderfully and fearfully made. God made you just who you are. And so you ain't got to be nobody else but what God made you to be. He told us he created us in his image and his likeness. And so accept that. Accept the image and the likeness that God made you, which is good, because everything God made was good. Sometimes we just got to perform the good that is in us. Because we were born, I get a little biblical a little bit. We were born evil. We may not meaning that we have the potential to be evil. Not saying that people do evil things all the time, but I'm just saying we have that potential. That's why when a baby is born, you had to teach it to share. You had to teach it not to hit grown folks, other kids. You got to teach it to touch nothing hot, because we're born with a rebellion in us. So that rebellion has to be subdued and channeled and bring it to subjection. And so then we learn control, what to do and what not to do. And that's why they got rules in society where you can't do this, you can't kill, you can't rob, you can't do that. They got rules in society set up so you won't do certain things. And the rules we have in society ain't just started yesterday. They had rules in society in the government in the Bible days during Moses' time. They had manslaughter, they had all kind of stuff. But from the beginning, before God gave Moses government, he had the Ten Commandments. And that Ten Commandments was govern how man's supposed to treat each other. Okay, it still reigns true today. And so, but anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there a little bit, and that was free, by the way. And so So I'm gonna get up out of here. I'm gonna play one of my songs, man. I'm gonna get up out of here, man. And I thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm gonna get up and out of here. All right, y'all, listen. So let me get back here. Let me get back here and play my song. I'm gonna get up out of here. Just for somebody tonight. Y'all know how that I love to play this song. Oh yeah. Somebody need this tonight. Oh yes. Now celebrate me. Come on. Somebody need us tonight. That's her singing right there. She's singing, y'all. She's singing. Oh, yeah, she's singing. You're going to be all right. I got one more, y'all, and I'm get up out of here for real. Get up here. I got one more I got to play. Got one more I got to play. Y'all know I like to DJ a little bit. Y'all know I like to play it. Y'all know I got to DJ a little bit. This is the last song for real. Now I'm up out of here. And again, y'all, be encouraged, y'all. I'm telling you, be encouraged. Hang in there. Don't you dare give up. The title of this is God Don't Play About Me. Somebody to put it in the chat. God don't play about me either. Go ahead and put it in the chat. God don't play about me. Oh, yes. Sing, girl, sing, 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 girl. Oh, yes. All right, y'all, be encouraged. Be encouraged. Me. All right, y'all. Be encouraged. Be encouraged. All right. Be encouraged. Stay in prayer with one another. Mean God got you. Okay. If you got him, he got you. And don't throw in the towel. Do not surrender to the enemy. Fight all you got. Give it all you got. And God will fight for you. Okay. God bless you.